Welcome back to Robin Reviews. Ever since I started this, my most popular video was what I did of the electronic Marvel masks. I actually looked at some of the viewership um, today. Not really my intention, I just wanted to have fun with it, but I thought I was curious. So I've done 40 videos so far. Um, one is just over 1,000 views. 17 are above 100, and then there's 20, 22, I think, that are below 100. But there's one randomly that has 8,900 views, and that's when I showed the electronic helmets of Iron Man, Ant-Man, and Spider-Man. So I thought I'd try to rekindle that. But before I get to that, this is not Mjolnir. This is a hammer that I made for a coworker. Her grandson wanted to go as Thor until I think the 30th of Halloween, and then he decided he wanted to go as Venom. And so I know it's very obviously duct tape, but what I did is I used a box that I found. I think this was a Life brand heart rate monitor, and I actually used bean bags in there for some of the weight, and then for the handle, I used a plastic hockey stick handle, as well as for the end of the handle. And I think that's like a Sobeys reusable bag there. And so, I mean, again, it's very obviously very cheaply made, but I tried to do it. This kid was 4. His name is Landon. And he wanted that, and so I tried to make it. Now, this particular youngster, Landon, the reason I also wanted to is because so I worked with his grandma, and he was with his mom once, and they were in I think Toys R Us, and he saw those Funko of Captain America. It looks like they're made of wood. He saw that, and he said we had to get that for Ian, which blew my mind for a 4-year-old to say that. So when I heard that he wanted to be Thor, I thought, well, I'm gonna do what I can to help. But then as I got into collecting some of the Marvel electronics, I wanted to actually get Mjolnir. The problem is, once I actually came along to this stuff, the actual original, so they're called Marvel Legends, and the actual Mjolnir that came out, the original one, was significantly more expensive. But then they came out, still not cheap, but then they came out with the Mjolnir for Thor: Love and Thunder. And so I will show off the whole thing, but I wanted to give a little background. So I guess I can spoil it. For those unaware, this is the original Mjolnir that broke apart when Hela destroyed it, and then Thor had said to it, spoken to Mjolnir years ago, that if he needed to, the hammer needed to protect Jane, and the symbol on the side, which I don't know that symbol, the name for it exactly, lit up. And so years later, when she gets cancer, it calls out to her and reassembles for her. She becomes the mighty Thor. And so what I've decided to do for this video is I'm going to do a little close-up walkthrough, and then I will show the actual electronic part. I will say, because it's very hard to tell in the video, the weight is, it's pretty good. It's not super light, so you think you can just fling it around, but it's also not actually heavy, and so I think it's a really good weight. And so I'll just do a bit of a walkthrough, facing the camera. And so I really like the design on here. I think that is easily something that could have been painted, but you can actually feel the cracks, and there is a very good reason for that, which I'll show at the end. I love the attention to detail on the artwork here, and it's very similar all the cracks. I mean, it gives that vibe that you get from the movie. The total vibe. I mean, the attention to detail. So this is a very, I don't know other word for it. I'm just going to call it a hard plastic. But it's done really, really well. And so you have all the way down the handle. It's a pretty long handle. So I'll show that part. Turn it around. And so there, luckily they did not use a reusable shopping bag, but even the artwork on the handle, it's great. And yeah, I actually really like, in the movie I always used to think, why is that strap there? You know, the hand strap here at the bottom. But it actually helps quite a bit when you're holding it. You can kind of do that, you know, you fling it, but then you catch it right at the end, and so it's good. And the reason these cracks are so important is, so I'm going to turn off the light in here to show this properly. The reason that the artwork and the cracks are so important is so when you press the button, when you light it up, you get sound and you get light. And so I'll do that again. It's got many different. And so by having the cracks not just painted on, but actually there, it allows so I still find that really cool, so I had to allow it that moment. One sec. By having the cracks actually built in, it allows for the lights to show that much more. And I think, personally, I think that speaks for itself there with the lights off. So you're seeing now, sometimes it just glows on its own. After you press the buttons, you'd have to press it again. I'm not going to. Actually, that's, I'd say, one of the downsides. I mean, it's a minor pet peeve, but personally, if I think it's off and, you know, it's not, it uses more battery than intended. But it's just a minor pet peeve. One of the neatest things about this is, I mean, I don't even know how they designed it, but when you're feeling the sides, when you're feeling the hammer itself, the plastic, I mean, it's a very solid, hard plastic. But, and unless I'm just completely out of left field here, way out in left field, it would also have to be a fairly thin plastic, at least on the outside, to be able to see the blue through it. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, I think it's really cool. I have this corner display unit. It's just this cheap thing I got at Wayfair, and right now it's got there's 5 shelves, so it's got the 3 helmets on the bottom. It's got the hammer on top, and then the second shelf is actually the Avengers Amazon exclusive assemble pack, so there's 6 of them together around, which I did. I've now done a video of that entire shelf, so you can kind of picture what that looks like. But this is the hammer. I've always been meaning to, but maybe I will after this video, but I've always been meaning to see what the original one does, because even though I did want the original, I think the way this lights up is really cool. I love the effect that it gives off. I love the sound effects, and I love that there's not just one. Like, I like that it's not just, ooh, I light up blue and make the same sound effect over and over again, but there's a few different ones it makes. And so, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. These Marvel Legend thing, I mean, I do like them. There's some that I don't have any desire to get, like the Eye of Agamotto, and some of the probably not War Machine. So War Machine, like the Iron Man mask, they have it, but it's just, you know, gray instead of red and gold. As well as they do have a Punisher War Machine, which, same thing. And so that gets a little repetitive. I think I mentioned in the video I did on the helmets, if I ever could pick one to have, it would be the Star-Lord, because you can actually connect that to Bluetooth, so you could play your own music through it. I do have one more Marvel Legends item, which might be a little difficult to show in the space that I have here, but I will try to, so I'm going to hold off saying what that is. But I hope you like these. Again, if you ever have suggestions for videos or comments, I would love to hear from you. Like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you next time.